Welcome YouTubers. I'm just going to duck down. I'm going to keep this video really simple. It was such an epic job transcribing this song. I didn't think it would be that difficult, but it's insane. And it's actually, it's a real testament to why Nick 13 was very successful with his, particularly his early Psychobilly songwriting. This song is bananas. There are so many different amazing sections. There are some really clever chord movements. It kind of makes no sense and makes tons of sense. It's brilliant. So guys, we're going to walk through Never Die by Tiger Army today. You guys know I love this band. I mean, I've got the same guitar as Nick 13. I liked it for many reasons, for many different artists, but I also like the fact that he has one. You can see him in the background there. That's a little picture of him over my shoulder. Just, you know, a bit of inspiration each day. Got to see my boy Nick on the wall there. That was a little strange. Not sure where that came from. But anyhow, you guys know I have a Patreon by now. If not, you can get the full transcription of this song, every chord, every note. It's all done. Yeah, you can get for just a couple bucks a month. In fact, if you joined, for example, for $2 a month, a whole year, you still wouldn't be paying me what a half-hour lesson's worth. So I think it's a pretty good deal. But if you see the effort, you might even chuck a little bit more. There are a ton of transcriptions on there, quite a few Tiger Army songs, in fact. I think there's Tercio de Muerte, the song off one of their more recent albums. There's Outlaw Heart, and there's Dark and Lonely Night, I should say. Transcriptions for those, and I've done videos for those. So guys, really worth checking out. But that's enough. I'm going to start the video. What we're going to do, I'm going to play the intro or verse, and I'm going to play the first instrumental, and then we're going to work on it. So that goes like this. Alright, so what we have here, guys, we have a D major chord, 5, 7, 7, 7, just like that. Okay, you would just flatten your third finger across the 7th fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string and put your first finger on the 5th fret there. If you find that it's not coming out really nicely, roll your finger this way a little bit and get it really close to the fret. You will find that's a little bit easier. However, if it's still difficult, just practice the song, and the more time you spend trying to make the chord, eventually your muscles will develop, you'll get stronger, and you'll be able to play it. So keep at it. That's the first chord. We strum it. Then we play an A major bar chord. So this song will really work your bar chords if you're, still developing there. So first finger right across the 5th fret. Imagine you play on the fret and roll backwards slightly. You might get a little more power out of the side of your finger as well. So hopefully that's a good tip. Put your third finger on the 7th fret, pinky on the 7th fret of the 4th string. So that was the E there on the 5th string, or 7th fret on the 5th string, 7th fret on the 4th string. Second finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. Okay, by the way, I'll do a guitar tone tutorial if you like the guitar tone for my Patreon members only. So that's the A chord. We just strum it, and of course pinch the 5th fret on the 2nd string and the 1st string as well. Then we go up to the 7th fret and we play power chord, a power chord, so nothing too complicated, 7, 9, and 9 from the 5th string, so 5th string, and we strum, then move up 2 frets. Okay, now when he does this, I can really I'm not really speaking good English, I've had too much coffee today. Hit the 4th string and the 3rd string. That's what I hear the most, but I would play these as a power chord. That way you've got extra strings to hit because it's pretty wild. Okay, and so I'd aim for the middle 2 strings. That's kind of the main notes I hear, but play it as a power chord anyway. That way you've got a little bit of extra room. And also, if you don't want to hear noise on those strings, just lean your pinky slightly without actually fretting the 2nd string, and it'll block it. So that gives you a little bit of extra room as well. Okay, so what we've got so far. Then we just bring this shape back to the E5 that we played. So it was an E5 and an F sharp 5. We're back to here, an E minor chord. Okay, so what we're adding to the power chord is simply the 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And if you like, you can bar the 7th fret there, And you've got that string as well, obviously, if you want to strum right through. So once we hit that chord, we start strumming. Now, Nick 13 is a brilliant strummer, a very good rhythm player. It gets a little wild sometimes in terms of, you know, how tight it is with the band, but kind of adds to the drama for me. I like that energy. But the rhythms he plays, it's almost like he's playing an acoustic guitar, but he's playing an electric, you know, but he strums almost the same way. One of the cool things. So, what have we got so far? D, A. Alright, so once we hit that E minor, we start this drum pattern. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? Don't hold the pick too tight. It will sound terrible if you hold the pick too tight. The next thing we do is a B minor chord. Okay, so start by grabbing a B5, which is the 7th fret on the 6th string, 9th fret on the 5th, and 9th fret on the 4th string, and we just bar right across with the first finger to get the minor chord. Okay, but if you get that first and then pull down, it gives you a little bit of extra time. So we come from here. Okay, and I say that because at super high speed, these things make a big difference. Okay, so when we get there, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Okay, but that's it. We don't go off a full second bar. Okay, so if you've got your transcription, this is bar 7 and 8 right now. Under verse 1 or section A. Okay. So what we do, we go. Alright, and then we get this step up to the C sharp 5. So we do the B minor, so down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, just like that, okay? And that takes to the C sharp 5, which steps us up to the D chord. So we play the same thing that we played. The verse has essentially started again. We've gone back to a D chord, only this time you actually end up playing it up at the 10th fret here. Okay, now it's the same chord as the A major, only it's up at the 10th fret. Okay, so alright, and then D here like this. So by the way, the C sharp 5, we literally take the chord that we're playing from the B up to the C sharp. So I didn't mention that. I thought it was pretty obvious, but I feel like I should. And if you keep your first finger barred, you'll end up playing a C sharp minor. That's okay, but you don't really need to hit all those strings. The actual power chord itself is totally fine. So once you're on that D, keep in mind it's exactly the same as the A chord, okay, but up at the 10th fret. We strum down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Then we're back to an A. So it's the same as everything that we've already done once we hit that A chord, more or less. So and the only difference is that we don't go up to the C sharp 5. We literally just keep strumming B minor for 2 bars. So that sounds like this. I'll play it nice and slow from the start. 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's 2 bars, so I should count that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay. Okay, and now we're up to the interlude, which is surprisingly interesting. I thought that this bit was going to be just power chords, but it's not. It's really brilliant. He actually plays this. So we start with an A5, we come off the B minor, and we do an A5 chord. You only really need the 5 and the 7 here. It's a little easier, okay, in terms of fretting. We want to be palm muting, okay. Karate chop the bridge, roll over a little. If it's too dead, move towards your elbow. If it's too twangy, move towards your fretting hand. So there we go, nice sound. So we hold the A5 and we pick down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, don't hold the pick too tight, it'll catch. So we go just like that. And then what we do is we add the pinky to the 8th fret. So just like that. Same rhythm, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Then we slide it back 2 frets, just like that. Yeah, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And what you do next is add your first finger, okay, to the 3rd fret on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. So we don't, obviously we're on 8 and 7, we move back to the 6 and the 5. You don't really have to move this finger, but I probably would, because you'll find once you start trying to play these notes, you might lose the 5th string, you might start blocking it accidentally. If you find that's the case, take it off. But if you can keep it there, keep it there, okay? So it ends up being... By the way, if you're at this point, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think of that little chord progression, because I think it's genius. I'm happy with the views on the videos, but everyone's very quiet. So if you could leave a comment, it would really help out. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. So that's the first interlude, okay? And I've always loved that bit, and now I know why I like it so much, because it's so much more interesting than what I originally thought. I thought it was just going to be power chords, but it ain't. Nick 13, very clever. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to play verse 2. Okay, it's very similar to verse 1, so we'll have a really quick look at that, and then we'll look at some of the variations in the other sections. But let's go into verse 2. So we got... So it's basically all the same, but we don't have that introduction with the ringing chords. We go straight in with the strumming, so it's... Oh, actually come up to the D there. So... yeah, I left out that little bit then. I just didn't play it, and I actually meant to say to you guys, some of those things you can completely leave out and you'll get away with it. So don't sit on the sidelines and not play the song if you find some of these parts really difficult. Just leave them out so you can enjoy playing along with the song. You don't have to nail every little thing. You know, like I said, I actually said this to a student yesterday. If it was a choice of, you know, jumping into a rehearsal or a jam or not, just because of some of the details that are people might not even notice, just go for it. Just, you know, make it a bit more doable. And in saying that, you could take any of these chords and just play them as power chords. And you're still going to have a ball, and it's still going to sound really good, okay? So that's verse 2. All right, so good news. After that verse, you get another interlude, you know, and it's exactly the same. So there's nothing new for me to teach you there until we get to the instrumental interlude, the clean part, that really nice. I should actually change the settings on the amp, but I don't want to. Let's just get on with the lesson. So this part. Alright, so let's walk through that. It's just the same chords we're using for the majority of it. Okay, there's a few little variations, but we're going to strum a D chord, just like that, okay, up to the 2nd string. Then we strum it with what we call minim triplets. Okay, get on the whammy bar if you've got one. You could always grab your guitar and just put a little bit of pressure on your neck. If you don't have a whammy bar, okay, great on a tally, a little bit of flex there, not so much on these guitars. Okay. And then we, same as before, okay, the E5 and the F sharp 5. Okay. So the E minor chord you're familiar with, we strum it again. Now when we do this B minor, we need to make sure we're fretting very cleanly, because we're going to pick. Okay, so pick the 6th string, pick the 1st string, pick the 2nd string, pick the 3rd string, pick the 2nd string, pick the 3rd string, the 4th string, and the 5th string. Then we're back to the D chord. A again. So this is the 2nd time through. Nothing changes. We strum it one more time. Now, this time you play the B minor. We're going to do a B minor 7. We're going to ditch this finger. Make sure this is nice and strong. So we go like that. Pick the 6th string. And then what we do is we put our pinky on the third string at the 9th fret, and we strum from the 5th string down, and then we lift it back up. Okay, so pick the 6th string, strum from the 5th string, but put your pinky down on the 3rd string, 9th fret, and lift it back up, and just strum those top 4 strings. Okay, we don't want to be too heavy. He's not doing that. He's quite... Okay. You'll notice too, I just turn the volume down slightly, and when I'm not strumming really hard, it does clean it up a little bit. So it's something you can remember in future if you want to clean your tone up a little bit without, you know, changing the pedal or changing the amp or whatever. So verse 3, it's all the same chords. Again, guys, we don't have too much more work to do. There's another section that gets a bit complicated, but we're using a lot of the same chords now. So we've got a D chord. So this bit, actually what we do, we play the same chords. So this is verse 3 now, marked F on the transcription. So we strum. Oh, like this. So really important when you do this, you do down, up, down, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so that goes through a bunch of times, okay? I think it's twice through. So then we get, we go back to, well, it's the same chords, but this time we're palm muting. So that's what I was going to say. It's back to that rhythm. Same as the rhythm in the interludes, pretty much, but slightly sparser. Let me explain why. We palm mute, we hold a D. Now we hold a D chord, but we can tighten up and basically just play power chords here anyway. Or however you want to play the power chords. So we go 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 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 So that's down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. Okay, so section G on the transcription, we've already learnt it, goes back to the... Whoop. And we get, the one difference is, while the bass continues that section, he strums this A sus2 chord. So this is bar 81 on the transcription in section G. So that's still happening on the bass. You just can relax there and just... And that's 4 times we do this. Okay, you get the idea. We then go back into the chords again. And it builds up 4 more times. You can start to get a little more wild towards the end of that. So that takes us to section I. This part gets really wild and it goes something like this. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to break this rhythm down. It is really complicated. Bear with me. We're holding an E5. We might happen to be knocking the 2nd string on the 9th fret there. Okay, that's okay if that happens. Okay, but the rhythm, I'm going to do this really slow. So you're going to have to practice this slow and build it up if you're finding it really challenging. We go down. Now, relax your fingers as you strum down again. So we're going to go down, and then we're going to strum up, down, as we squeeze again. So we're going to go... Then we're going to move up to an F chord, but we're going to play muted at the beginning. So we're going to go up, down. As we move up, we relax our fingers so we get this dead sound. Then we strum up, down as we squeeze. So what we've got so far, down, right? Alright, and then we do another dead strike as we come back to E, and we strum up, down again. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and, okay? Now, that will feel, if this doesn't come naturally to you to go, then you're going to find this challenging, but the trick is to just practice it really slow till it becomes natural, okay? Once it becomes natural, you'll be able to speed it up, so... Next part goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, start again. That's it, and when we speed it up, it goes. And then as you speed it up, it won't matter if it's perfect or not, okay? It's going to sound great if you've got that framework there. So the next part I've got listed as J. And if you've hung in there this far, leave a comment. Let me know. Say, hey, I'm up to J, because you should be proud of yourself. You're doing really well. So section J, we let it ring, but this time we definitely want to play an E minor. So we come off, I'll play the last time. Let it ring. And then we continue with that same rhythm, okay? So we let the E minor ring. This is in bar 93. Long song. Well, long transcription, I should say. It's not a long song at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to the rhythms we're using in section I. So we go... Alright, then we go up to a G chord, and we play a simpler rhythm. We go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. But it gets a little complex because we add the pinky. Now again, I don't want you to stress if you don't nail this 100%, but I'll break it down for you. So we're doing almost 2 bars of this rhythm. We go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. I know, right? Tricky. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So that's the whole 4 bars. You'll notice if I play that slowly a couple times, you might get it in your head. So. And if we do it really fast. Okay, so use that slower version to help you get there with that one. We then come back to a D chord. Oh, hang on, let me get that. Let me try that again. It's not easy, guys. There we go. That's the correct rhythm. So I'll break that one down for you. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's better. Then we put the pinky up here and we go 1, 2, and 3, and 4. All right, a really challenging little rhythm. I'm gonna play that whole line again. Oh, that's better. Phew. These can be really challenging to play slow. And then fast. Alright, and then the next line when we go to the B minor, the good news is nothing complicated, just sits on a B minor chord. Now, everything's the same in the next part except the first lot of the E chord. So it goes... Alright, so think of what we did on the D chord. But this time, we're playing that A minor, we use that very similar rhythm, and we go... Okay, very similar rhythm. So I'll break that down for you from the third bar of it. So, well, hang on. Here we go. Okay. So, ba 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 ba. So I'm actually putting my pinky on the 11th fret of the 3rd string. Now I just realized that I didn't tell you what frets I was actually using on the D chord with those additional notes, and I apologize, but let me just show you really quick. You probably figured it out anyway, and if you didn't and you hate me, let me know in the comments. I deserve it. But we're actually adding the 8th fret and we're stretching to the 10th and coming back, and that's what brings in those variations. So alright, it's all with the pinky between the 8 and the 10 there, so hopefully you can figure that out. Now, if you've gotten this far and you found that bit poorly explained and you're not a member of the Patreon, let me know. I will send you the tab to make up for that bluff. Okay, because guys, I have such limited time to do these. I'm gonna have to keep moving. So the next part, everything's the same as before. So we did the E. We got to the G just like before. D. I just made that one up, but as you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect. B minor. And here we go for the end. So the end, we actually move up to very similar to what we did in I. So it's exactly the same thing, but we do it right up at the 9th fret now. So we've actually shifted up. So we go. Actually, the end goes. God, you can't get anything right today. Hey, you have these days. But okay, so to play this last part, practice and make sure you're already good at I, and then just do it 2 frets higher than what you did section I. The part that we played, yeah. So we do that, but we're up here now. So minor chord, major chord, slide up, back, minor chord, does it again. So we do that 3 times, and on the 4th time you do this. Then we come up to the 10 again. Okay, so we're playing F sharp, G minor, E minor, and we actually go back to the G minor and finish on an F sharp minor. Okay, so you'll notice every other time I use the major chord, but at the very end it finishes with the minor chord, which is just another mind-blowing fact about this song. There's just all this random stuff going on, and that's probably one of the things that makes it so cool. So I'm not going to do any fancy editing for this one. I wanted to just get a nice view because I knew there was a lot of work ahead of us. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed that one. I've loved this song for a long time. So I tell you what, listening to a song and playing it, wow. Especially when it's at this kind of speed, the little details can be quite crazy when you really break them down. They're quite complicated. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you're not a member of the Patreon and you enjoy these videos, of course, consider joining. The whole transcription's there. You know, it's pages and pages and pages of stuff like this, as you can see. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. I'll probably do some other material over the next month or so, because this is a big commitment getting this one completely finished. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.